Good evening, everyone. If we could have your attention, please. We are ready to get started.
Doesn't he sound like he belongs in like a big house there and be one of those big people in charge of the circus? Well, that's sometimes what it feels like. But I am Joella Houselman. I'm the principal here at Edgewood. Yes, it's my 23rd year, but it's a new year because we're a first-time STEM certified school, and we have incredible opportunities for your kids to learn. I think you're going to really like the active engagement. It's going to be project-based learning, but we're really, really focusing on high academic performance. So you don't give up one for the other. You just actually increase the depth of knowledge and kids' ability to apply what we teach them, not just show us on tests and paper. So I think your kids are in for a really incredible experience this year. I have my teachers with us today. They will stand up. They will tell you their name and what they teach. So you can start putting faces with names. They're going to then go to their classrooms, and then we will have a quick couple question answer, help and answer anything you might need to know. And then you get a chance to walk the building and meet the teachers. So I'm going to move this podium out of the way again. All my little hiders back here. And we'll start down there with Tanya. And she will tell you who she is and what she teaches.
Hi, Tanya Beckman. I teach math, algebra, and pre-algebra.
Janelle Rhodes, 7th grade PE Health and Medical Detectives.
Carrie Morris, I teach all the visual arts classes here.
Grace Crocker, I'm Mr. Nexley's student teacher in Spanish.
Hello, my name is Abby Richcreek, and I teach several PLTW classes, which include medical detective, design and modeling, automation and robotics, and
Flight and space.
flight and space. There we go.
I'm Jason Fleming, and I teach science. 7th grade.
I'm Tiffany Kahneman, and I teach 7th grade science.
I am Veronica Pelser, and I teach 8th grade language arts, 8th grade honors language arts, and literature.
I'm Jenny Dannemiller, I teach 8th grade ELA.
I'm Cami Toomey, I teach 8th grade honors, 8th grade language arts, 8th grade literature, and then also 8th grade skills class.
I'm David Mullen. I teach 7th grade ELA.
I'm Lori Thompson. I teach 7th grade ELA honors, and literature.
I'm Alexis Brenner, and I teach 7th grade ELA honors, ELA literature, and reading skills.
I'm Joe Pelosa. I teach 6th, 7th, and 8th grade band.
I'm Elizabeth Fisher. I teach 7th grade social studies.
Good evening, my name is Madeline Zimmerman, and I teach 7th and 8th grade agriculture.
Good evening, my name is Miss Amy Miller, and I teach 7th grade math.
What's up, y'all? I am Mr. Heckerman, and I teach math.
I'm Angela Dielman, and I teach beginning orchestra and advanced orchestra.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Heckerman, no relation. And I teach 8th grade math, pre-algebra, and geometry.
I'm Mrs. Adamick, I teach 8th grade hope and business.
I'm Mr. Demopoulos. I teach biology and 8th grade science.
I'm Ben Wilt. I teach 7th and 8th grade health and PE.
Kyle Holt, 7th grade social studies.
Hello, Teresa Jordan, and I teach the ENL classes.
Buenas tardes, me llamo Profe y yo soy maestro de español aquí en esta escuela. My personal profe and I'm the Spanish teacher here.
I'm Dora Bowald. I'm a resource teacher for 7th and 8th grade.
Hi, I'm Sarah McDonald. I'm a resource room teacher for 7th and 8th grade.
Hi, I'm Nicole Landon. I'm a resource teacher for 7th and 8th grade.
Hello, I'm Lynette Hahn, and I teach family and consumer science, which is mixed 7th and 8th grade together.
I'm Sam Weishauer, and I teach 7th grade math.
I'm Matt Wise. I teach 8th grade science and space and flight.
Dylan Ringler. I teach 8th grade U.S. history and 7th grade culture.
Hi, I'm Susan Everhart, and I'm the teacher librarian here.
Hi, I'm Jessie Swerves, and I teach 8th grade US history.
And I'm Elliot Mazingo. I teach 7th grade Global Wellness, PE, 8th grade semester PE, and 8th grade first semester.
Okay, so these are our teachers here. go to their classes and get things set up so you can come visit them. In the meantime, we thought it might be helpful if you could hear from Mr. Culver. I'll wait till they finish. I have often said when we took us all on a field trip and we went out to Zimmer Biomed, I thought it was harder to herd the teachers than it is to herd the middle school students, because it's like, get them on the bus. And it was a great trip. All right, so here we go. Mr. Culver is going to talk to you about the expectations we shared with your children, so that you know what we're expecting and you can hopefully reinforce at home.
Good evening. My name is Jason Culver. I'm the assistant principal and athletic director. And I just want to say we have started with a fantastic 3 days. So your children have done an amazing job. What a great year I think this is going to be. We can tell a lot by the first few days. And they have been so well behaved, so polite. They're getting the hang of finding their classes and getting to class on time. So they're doing a great job for those of you that have worries. I have 2 kids of my own, one that just went to the high school, one that's in the elementary. So I understand what those transitions are like and how that can be nerve-wracking. So they're doing a great job, and we are extremely happy to have them here. I do want to talk quickly just about some of the things that I talked about with the students, and hopefully they didn't come home terrified of me, thinking that, you know, I am some mean person that's just going to discipline and consequence all day long. That is not what I want to do. It is part of my job. We do have high expectations of our students. They have come to the middle school level now. It's our job to prepare them for that next level and to help them in their journey of becoming an adult, where they're one day going to be fully responsible for themselves. So in that process, there will be some growing pains. What I ask from you as parents, I ask for your support, and if you have questions or concerns, I ask for your communication. We will do our very best to communicate anything that we may have with your children, whether that be through an email or whether that be through a phone call. But if you have questions at any time about anything that your child comes home and says may have happened throughout the day, please call us and ask us questions about what may have happened. If we don't know what happened, you can bet we are sure going to find out what happened, okay? And we're going to communicate with you to the best of our ability. First and foremost is attendance. If your child is not here in the building, it is going to be very difficult for them to get a quality education. We need them here every single day. We know that things happen, life happens. There are unexplained things, sicknesses, deaths, even the occasional vacation that you might need to just get away. We understand that happens. Please, first of all, communicate that with us. Call into the front office, let them know that your child won't be here. And if you do that, that will go in as one of your parent excused days. If you don't know it already, you get 7 parent excused days each semester. Okay, that's 14 parent excused days throughout the school year. That means that those, as long as you call in, let us know that your child is going to be absent, those do not go against you, okay? Once you've reached those days, if you, in the first semester, you hit day 8, that then goes under as an unexcused absence unless you have a doctor's note, okay? So it's very important that you communicate to us through that entire process. We are held to a standard by the state where we have to report all of that, and we have to follow guidelines as well. I don't want to get into that category where we're dealing with unexcused absences and having to report those things. So please keep communicating with us. Again, we get it, things happen, but as long as you're communicating with us, we can work with you, okay? Be on time to school. Now, if your kid rides the bus, they're not going to have any troubles getting here on time. If you're dropping them off, or if you've got somebody else dropping them off, or if it's one of your other children dropping them off, our school starts at 7:50 on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and it starts at 8:40 on Mondays. Mondays are our late start. That means the kids are expected to be in the classroom when that bell rings at 7:50, okay, or 8:40. If they are not, they are counted tardy, okay? We have a policy in place where they hit a certain number of tardies, they then have a consequence. Okay, it's no different for us as parents. We show up late to our work so many times. eventually there are going to be consequences for that. Again, this is part of that journey, trying to teach them. If you're having issues with getting your child here, please talk to me. I've already talked with our transportation director. They will pick you up almost no matter wherever you are. Okay? There are very few situations where I've heard our transportation director say, we can't pick them up. Okay? So, if it becomes an issue, we will have a conversation, try to help you figure out what to do, but there is always the option of putting your child on the bus. But we need them here in school, in class, and we need them here on time. That tardy policy overflows into the school setting. If your child is leaving class and they're getting to class late, okay, those tardies add up. Again, consequences. If they hit a certain number, we will be communicating with you, letting you know, hey, they've been tardy this many times. This is the consequence they have. We will be communicating with them as well. Okay, they get a handful of them before they, get that first consequence. We will have already talked to them and said, hey, you're approaching that consequence. You need to make sure you're getting to class on time. Okay, so trust me when I say we will be working with your children before they get that consequence. So they will know ahead of time. There will be no excuses for that. Okay, and if they're having trouble, they just need to talk to us. Parent drop off and pick up. We've already done a fantastic job. This is probably the best start to the school year we've had. I am going to apologize up front for our teachers and myself that might be out there constantly waving you on and telling you to pull forward if you're dropping your child off out front. The reason we're doing that is everybody is waiting behind you. We can get 10 cars all the way along that front sidewalk, and that speeds the process up so much faster if we've got everybody pulling up. So if there's not a car waiting in front of you, please, I know it's tempting to stop right in front of our front doors and let your child out so they don't have to walk very far. But in order to get everybody into the building on time, we really need you to pull all the way up to the furthest spot where the sidewalk and the grass meet. Let your child out so that everybody else can do the same. It's the same in the evening. We ask that if there's nobody stopped in front of you, please keep going all the way down to the end. We will be on the sidewalk telling your kids, hey, meet them at the end. All right, again, that's not to be mean, but that's to get everybody out of here in a timely manner. Nobody wants to sit in that line any longer than they have to. So again, we may just give you a friendly, hey, if you could, remember next time, pull up. That's not us being mean. We just want to keep traffic moving. We do ask that drop-off is at door 1 only. Now, last year, for those of you that are returning to Edgewood, we allowed the kids to come through door 3. We do not have the supervision for that door this year. You may still come in off of Logan and around this side of the building, and if you want to drop your child off on the sidewalk, you may, but your child needs to walk around on the sidewalk to the front doors over here. Or you can just squeeze in and drop them off up front. But I sent out that map, hopefully you all got it, the day before the first day of school that kind of showed you our routes that come in. Sometimes Union gets backed up. But please help us by dropping them off. They need to enter door 1 only. When you pick up, it's all the same. We do ask if your child is walking, especially to the high school, and I've asked them, I told them this the first day that we had school, we have a path over here where we have a crossing guard that gets them safely across the road onto the newly paved path that goes over to the high school. It is a little longer walk for those that are going home with brother or sister and they park in this back parking lot, but that longer walk sure beats them getting hit by the traffic that is crazy on this back road. And if you haven't seen it, when that high school gets let out, those kids are coming out of there. So I say this because I've already seen a handful of kids walking, cutting through the grass, walking across the road. If I see them, or Mrs. Houseman sees them, or a teacher sees them, we're going to be having a conversation with them. And if it doesn't stop, we'll be having that conversation with you. We need for them to walk on the path over to the high school. We don't care if they ride home with brother or sister. That's fine, but they need to stay on the walking paths because I'm telling you, nobody wants a call saying their kid has just been hit by a car. All right? And we take that very seriously, so please, it's out of the love for your children that we are so passionate about making sure they follow that rule. Also, tell your older kids, don't let them stop back here to pick your kids up. We've seen kids trying to walk through the buses, crossing roads to get in cars because their brother or sister doesn't wait for them. okay? We call over to the high school has conversations with the older kids. But we need for you guys to help us out in talking with your kids about that prior. And again, that's just for the safety. All right, moving on. iPads and IDs. These are two things we require the kids have every day. The ID is a safety thing. It's so we know your kid is who they are, that they're supposed to be in the building. They were given one at the beginning of the year on a lanyard. If they lose it, they do need to replace it, and it is $4 to replace it. Okay, $4 for the ID, $1 for the lanyard. We do have sticker temporary IDs that we give them for a short time until they can get that ID paid for. But if money is an issue or whatever, call into the school. We will help you with that. But they do need to have a regular ID so that they can get their lunch and so that they can move about the building and we know who they are. We do ask if they have a temporary ID for purposes of keeping the line moving at lunch. Those students do go last. It's not necessarily a consequence. It's kind of a natural consequence. But it slows the whole process down if those kids are going through the line because the ladies working the line, they have to then type in your child's name, look up their information, and it slows everybody up. So we do hold those kids back. So if they come home and say, I had to eat last today because I didn't have my ID, that is correct. But it's just to keep the flow moving as quickly as we can. iPad, it's got to be here and it's got to be charged. They need to get in the habit of charging it every night. That is their only device. That is their textbook. It's their lifeline in the classroom. They need it here and they need it charged. So please get them in the habit of having it here. These two items, the ID and the iPads, we go around every single morning and we check every classroom. The teachers tell us who doesn't have their ID, who doesn't have their iPad or doesn't have it charged. We have a conversation with them. After so many times, there are consequences if they forget to have those materials with them. Okay? So we are going to hold them accountable. iPad insurance, if you haven't gotten it yet, you have until August 31st, $28. That $28 is way better than $250 or $300 when your child's iPad gets broken. And I have seen some crazy things when it comes to iPads getting broken. All right, it happens. I would encourage all of you to go on, get that iPad insurance. It will cover everything. Okay, if you don't have the insurance and your child's iPad gets broken, you will be responsible for paying for that $300 bill when it comes around. So please, please, please get that iPad insurance. Cell phones, we ask that the kids keep them off and put away. We don't mind if they're here, but they need to be off and put away. There is absolutely no reason for them to have their cell phone out and using it. Okay, none whatsoever. They have their iPad, that's what gets them through the day. If they need to get in touch with you, they can come to the office. If you need to get in touch with them, you can call the office. If there is an extenuating circumstance, please talk to us. We do not want your child to get in trouble or have their phone set in the front office because they aren't following that rule. Okay? If your child says they don't feel good and they're texting you from school, please call the office and let us know. We will confirm with the nurse. The nurse is the only one that can excuse your child for an illness. All right? So please, I get it. As a parent, I get it. All right? We want to be there for our kids, and we will let you be there for your child. We just need to go through the proper channels so that students aren't taking advantage of the system. And I know that's hard to believe that we think they might do that, but some do. Okay? So make sure they're off and put away. Our policy is if they have it out, okay, a teacher will just hand it over, take it to the front office. We'll set it in the front office with their name on a sticky tag. At the end of the day, they come and get it. If it becomes an issue, I will call home. We will set up some consequences for them to help them remember. And if that doesn't work, we're just going to ask that the phone stay home altogether. Okay? It is that important that they stay focused in the classroom and we don't have those outside distractions. And I can tell you in my 7th year in this position, the majority of issues I deal with are social media. Okay, the stuff that happens on the phone, most of it happens outside of school, but then it's brought into school. I would say 95% of our issues are dealing with stuff revolving around social media and cell phones. Okay, so keep an eye on what your child's doing. Okay? As innocent as they all are, keep an eye on what they're doing. Dress code, real simple. Okay? If you have to question whether you think it's appropriate when you get up in the morning or when your child gets up in the morning, don't wear it. Okay? We don't want to see the undergarments underneath the clothes. A good rule of thumb is the student's ID for the straps on the shoulder, for the shorts, skirts, whatever they may be, holes in the pants. They hang their hands down. If the holes are up above their fingertips, we're getting into an area where we need to probably think about wearing something else. Okay, we just want to minimize the distractions. Same thing with the logos on the shirt. If it's drug, violence, or sexual in nature, don't wear it. We're going to ask them to change. If they don't have anything to change into, we're going to call you and ask them to have something different. Again, we're here to maximize learning. That's what our job is, to get them to learn, and we can't do that with some of these distractions. Lastly, athletics and clubs. Okay, I'm also the athletic director. Okay, I love that part of my job. I love to see students involved. I would say we probably have about half of our student body involved in athletics, and then there's a good number of them involved in clubs as well. Have your child try something. Okay, whether it be one of our sports, which in the fall we have cross country, we have volleyball, we have football, we have cheer. Okay, in the winter we have boys and girls basketball, we have wrestling, and then in the spring we have soccer and we have track. Those are our sports. Some of those are cut sports. Some of those any kid can join and be a part of. Okay, no cuts whatsoever. And then we've got all kinds of clubs that take place, whether it be chess, whether it be game club, robotics. Okay, that's just a few. We have a ton of clubs. Get them involved, help them meet new people. It will also help them focus on academics because we hold a tight regimen to academics when it comes to our athletes. I've said a lot. I am live streaming this, and it will be on our Edgewood Live YouTube channel. If you want to go back and watch, or somebody that missed tonight, please tell them to do that. If you have questions for me afterwards, please come and see me. Thank you.
All right, couple quick updates. One of the things we told your kids is the most important thing they do is do your schoolwork. And so we do have an accountability system in place, and I asked your kids, just do your best, try your hardest, turn your work in, and you're going to have a terrific year, because kids that are keeping up with their schoolwork will get an opportunity 3 times in the week for enrichment, which means we're going to offer them all kinds of other learning opportunities because they've already demonstrated they did their work and it's finished and it's been turned in. And so that's a little bit of organization. It's monitoring for homework. They know how to get it turned in. We discovered over time, last year in particular, we took a look in March, and from January to March, how many missing assignments, and it was over 8,000. And we're like, oh, they're not doing their work. How do you learn if you don't do your work? And so we have put some pieces in place for accountability, staying on top of those grades. Kids that are doing their best, get their work done, turn it in. They're gonna enjoy some incredible enrichment opportunities. There's a real reason, even if it's not just for the A, the B, the C, there's a good reason to turn your work in and do it every day. Each time the teacher gives you an assignment, get it done. A little update on our counselor. Our counselor, Mrs. Holler, took a semester maternity leave. I had her, a substitute for her who canceled, and so we're going counselorless. We actually do not have a counselor in the front office. However, my first master's degree was actually in counseling, and so I know I'm here to help your kids any way I can. Our nurse is here to help them. We have a health room assistant who will help them. All of the teachers are more than willing to work with your kids too, so please don't leave your social, emotional, my kid's stressed, my kid's anxious, my kid. Please don't feel like there's no one to talk to, because we are here. Mr. Culver and I are here. If you email me, I guarantee you will get a response back that day. If you want to come in and meet because there's a situation you need me to be aware of, or Mr. Culver will meet with you. It's an important communication. We are still here to support your kids. We're really looking forward to January and really hopeful she comes back. But in the meantime, we're just going to do the best we can with the staff we have to make sure we still take care of your kids' social and emotional needs. I do have with us today 2 of our PPE co-presidents. We are so blessed to have an active parent organization in a middle school, highly unusual. And the best part is These are two moms that are co-president. We actually have officers for every office. And that says a lot for parents that are getting involved in our school, and we want you to get involved too.
Hi, I'm Jenna Carter.
I'm Malika Klingerman.
We're the co-presidents for this year. We both have 8th graders here, so we've been through at least a year under our belts. We also have incoming, so we're gonna be here for a while. Yay. PPE, when you hear it, nobody has any idea what we're talking about. It sounds like, something in the health field. It's not. We are parents that are partnering in education, so that includes moms, dads, grandparents. We are all involved in this. We are essentially, though, what you think of as a PTO. The difference is that we aren't going to make you come in and volunteer and do all of this extra stuff unless you really want to. So our biggest things, we had a Christmas dance, we did carnation sales, we have end of the quarter celebrations at every quarter. We're the ones that sell the concessions, so we give your kids sugar, yay. But with that, we are the ones that then pay to help acknowledge your students for their hard work. We're the ones that then, when your kid is graduating high school and wants money, we offered 2 kids that graduated last year $1,000 scholarships just because they went to Edgewood. So when your kid is getting ready to graduate, you're gonna wanna come see us, and you're gonna want that money you put into it to come back to you. So that's the kind of stuff that we offer. There's way more that we offer. You can come see us at our table. If you previously had an Edgewood student and you followed us on Facebook or had email, we had that change due to some access issues. So there's a paper over there that tells you a little bit about our new Facebook page, our new email. Just contact us. The worst thing you're gonna have to do is send in some food for parent-teacher conferences, because we feed our staff to make sure they have some food that night, because they're here until 6 to be able to talk to all the parents. We want them fed. So if you can contribute spoons, if you can contribute a crock pot of food, by all means, that's all we're gonna ask of you. If you just wanna give money and you wanna say, here's some money, go away, we have that available too. We have a way for you to do that. We are not gonna require you to come in and do everything, but by all means, we are more than happy if you do. We meet we do have some dates that had to change due to like spring break and some other events. But mostly it's the second Tuesday of every month. We do meet at 2 p.m., which I know is hard for a lot of parents. But if you sign up for email, we'll send you the notes. We'll send you all the information that you need. We're always gonna be able to be in contact with you if you wanna know what's going on. Sometimes we have to get up before you, like the regular parents that don't get involved, because we have Mrs. Hasselman in our meetings, so we get the notes before any other parents do, so you might get that information first. Plus, I have a boy, actually I have 2 boys. I know they don't tell me anything that comes home. So guess what? When your middle school child isn't telling you anything and you're waiting till the last minute, PPE might be the ones that fill you in. So feel free to come and join us. At least sign up for the notes so that way you get that information. We'd be glad to have you.
All right. Well, at this time, you can ask questions. You can come up and ask us questions. You can ask questions from out in the audience, but you can also go out and check out these classrooms, meet the teachers. You can walk the whole building. Our academics are all around that big box there. Language arts, math, science, history, all that side. Project Lead the Way, STEM, computer lab out front. Art class, health classrooms, and family consumer science are on this side. So go meet the teachers and enjoy. Please feel free to ask us any questions you may have.
Yeah, I had a big star beside the academic accountability.
That was the big
I
reason.
skipped it because I was going to do it last.
Oh,
and
and then
I forgot to
it
come
was
back.
funny because I kept waiting. Like, yes, hi.